Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing along. Yeah, I need you around for brighter light and firmer ground. When you believe in me, love is gonna set me free.
Good evening, good evening, and good evening. Welcome to another segment of Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And listen, tonight, I have been on this soapbox about holistic practitioners and what we do as holistic practitioners. There's nothing scary if we know who we are into and involved in. So tonight, I brought on one of my special guests. And I will share just a little bit, but I'm going to let her take Miss Fletcher D. Johnson, who is a local here in Chestertown, Maryland, here on the Eastern Shore. We actually, our paths cross with me doing a for the University of Maryland wellness, talking about, and I had the sound bath that day, and I actually met her, and we have connected for different things, and we're going to talk about something that we're going to connect on 11/11. So Fletcher, thank you for coming tonight. Can you give the audience who you are, what do you do? Because I know you wear a lot of hats. So.
I am many things, and I've been called many things. But currently, I am operating a business called Elevate, Elevate Your Health, but Elevate for short. And what I really am passionate about is giving people the tools to help connect them to themselves and align with spirit. And that shows up in a lot of different ways. My background is in yoga therapy, Reiki, and Ayurvedic digestive health.
Wow. See, look, I told you, people, that we have to have an open mind, especially for those who feel as though, you do yoga. But again, I had my friend Tara on last week. She came from it from a biblical perspective. When we talk about yoga, we talk about Reiki, and I get it. People say you opening up doorways, but I still stand firm. If I have the God within me, I know that he uses his purpose. Again, laying of the hands. But what she said here, digestive. And we know that a lot of things in our digestion can actually affect us mind, body, and soul. Am I correct on that, Fletcher?
Yes. In my very first teacher training back in 2005, the first thing that we learned actually is that the body is our temple and we need to honor it and honor ourselves. And really it was helping me to cleanse and purify and get rid of my own illusions so that I could be a better person and help other people connect to themselves too. So it's more than just exercise. It's much deeper than that.
Yeah, it's more like a connection. It's more like a connection. And when my guest last week, she brought on about, because she is a therapist as well. So myself as counseling and all those type of areas, we use different modalities and we use different tools to promote people to feel better. We promote things to help people get better. And these are like strategies and tools that you can use. Now for her, she does a somatic trauma. Because she does somatic trauma yoga, and I experienced that with her. Because again, people don't understand that our cells hold trauma.
Yes, there's a great book on that called The Body Keeps the Score. And essentially it just says, well, in a relatable way, if someone gets stressed out, their shoulders are always up here and then it lets go. But the thing is, things can be held all over. So say, for example, someone's in a yoga class and they release that thing that they've been holding on to for 20, 40, a lifetime ago. Sometimes they cry afterwards, or they get upset, or they realize certain things, they get clarity on things. But what I was just thinking, The thing that we have in common is that we both use sound, but we use sound in different ways. So you play sound, but you're also a singer. And I use sound with the breath and in different versions of meditation, but they're both very therapeutic, even in those different applications.
So Fletcher, you said one thing too about breathing. When we exhale and inhale, that does a lot, because again, I share with you my experience that I had at this spiritual retreat that I went on last month, and the breath work. I know I see a lot of that coming on now. Is that something that you also do in your practice as well?
Yes. In fact, that is one of the most efficient and tangible ways for somebody to almost instantaneously form this connection. And I do a lot with seasonal eating and different weather patterns. And the fall is kind of a windy time of year, which changes all around. It's ungrounded. So it's the most likely time of year someone is going to be anxious and have anxiety. Now, if you think about someone that's having a panic attack, they're taking short, rapid inhales, which is kind of like putting gasoline on a fire. And in yoga, we practice long, smooth exhales, as does singing. And this is working with the nervous system and telling it, hey, you're safe. It's okay. We're in the right rest and digest, not, survival mode. So, and then if you put an intention behind what it is that you're saying, you're just adding in another layer of healing benefit.
And I'm glad you said that word too, intention. Intention to me means just, intention means to me is just that you're affirming things. You're making that ability, you're putting that in the atmosphere, because again, for those religiosity folks, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there for those religiosity.
Well, I grab my crystals.
So for the religiosity folks, we got to speak those things into the atmosphere, speak those things as they were. So those are the things that we look to do when we're talking about affirmations. And speaking of this affirmation, we're planning to connect on 11/11, which I know people look at significance by numbers and different things like that, but 11/11 is especially a heightened time in this season. When you talked about the season, and we're gonna go back to that too, about seasonal eating. So there are other things that you have in practices with seasonal eating. Can you go a little bit deeper into that? Because I was intrigued by that. I was very intrigued.
Sure. And you'll also see that in my on screen, my Facebook is Elevate 444. So I'm 100% a numbers person. I see 127. I'm like, oh, that's my mom's birthday. So it always has little different connections. So seasonal eating, essentially. Okay, we're going to go back to stressors and the nervous system. Okay, so when we're in tune with the season, or our breath pattern is healthy, whatever it might be, as we're showing up in our routines, we're either swimming with the flow or pushing against it. And when we're waking up around sunrise and eating things that are in season, our body harmonizes with those things, and it takes just one less piece of the puzzle out of it. Say, for example, maybe sometimes you eat breakfast and maybe sometimes you don't. Then your body's like, oh, when do we need to mobilize the troops to get things going? So then they're just ready all the time. But if we can close some of the browsers on the computer screen and say, okay, right now we do this, and we do it every day at 8:30, and then it knows what to expect. It can better prepare itself. And then you can better prepare for something else, because our energy is not so scattered on all these different things.
So that's the question I'm asking the audience tonight. Are you in alignment with the season? Listen, look, I tell everyone that I always bring folks on here who just definitely know the science of stuff, because again, it's the science. Our cells tell on us. If we really get to that property, our cells were telling a lot of these diseases, and now that I'm taking this naturopathic class, I'm telling you, I've learned so much about different ways our cells and how past traumas, not only for physical, but also mental traumas that can actually messes our whole demographics of how our cells can repair their cells. So it is key what you're talking about. Are you in alignment with the season and what you're eating? That
Yes.
is a great big, like, again, there's harvest time, because what we consider this the harvest time, right?
Absolutely.
So this
And
is the
there's so many, Ayurveda is such a beautiful describer of these seasons. So, for example, in the summertime here in the mid-Atlantic, it gets very hot. And so that might show up in the body as irritability, inflammation, any type of burning eyes, burning things that come out of your body, any type of heat, bloodshot eyes or redness of cheeks or redness around the joints. Those can all be heat symptoms, right? But then we're moving into the fall. So the fall, it gets windy, dry, cold. Our skin gets dry. Most people can get constipation. And then you move in towards the spring, and the spring is very damp. And you hear people say all the time, oh, when the weather is cold and damp, my joints really hurt, right? And then, they get like in the dead of the winter, early spring, you feel like sluggish and heavy and lethargic. But that's when things are starting to come out of the ground, and nature gives you, fresh greens and all these things to help lighten us up. So we have different rituals at each time. And you also have a season of life, right? So as people age, they get drier, and you'll notice that lots of babies are, smooth as a baby's butt. They're like plump, and so they're more earthy. And then in midlife, when you're working hard, is that fire energy? It's like go, 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 got to get stuff done. So it could be your environment, it could be your season of life, and it also could be what you're eating, and what you're consuming is not always just food too. It's what we watch, what we hear, who we interact with. So I definitely think there's lots of ways to be in alignment.
See, I told you this is some good stuff, some real good stuff
I
tonight.
actually have a quarterly blog about all of those things that's right on my website, elevate444.com. So if anybody's curious about taking a little bit deeper dive on those types of things, it can be found right on there.
See, I knew we was connected for some reason, because it actually, and I follow the paths. I follow the paths that God aligns me to follow. And one thing is, I have an open mind of learning different stuff. And I think that's where a lot of people, we feel like we're going outside the box, right? If I say I do this, but I'm always been an inquisitive mind to learn different things.
Me too.
It's just in my DNA. It's part of my creativity to learn different things. Like you said, for dryness, and it's good. You got a good thing for dryness. As we get older, females, our lady parts, I'm gonna say, we feel those things do not work. They work, right?
That's a very good example.
Yeah, very good example. So I'm telling you this is because I've created a new service under my Mama's Healing Sound for You with these themes. I will tell you again, I'm going back to these past 3 months. It's like I've been on this journey, but ever since I went to this other retreat, and it's like I always learn stuff at these new retreats. And that's why I invest in them, because I know that it's going to be beneficial. So herbs, spices, different things like that. Certain types of herbs actually can promote healing in your womb, even to the part of you having trauma. A lot of stuff that we go through, we have given birth, as you said, seasons of life. We give season of life. That, even though that experience of giving birth to your children, that is traumatic to the body. How does that heal itself? Yeah, we might take those, but think about it. That's we're giving life for those who have, for those who maybe have, as you say, soul connections with their partner. Well, I'm going to go there. A lot of people don't think that you're taking on that other person that maybe they have been with. This is what we're talking about. You don't know.
And not STDs, more than that.
Yes, not thank you, Fletcher, thank you. No, that's what I'm saying. More
But you
than
get the idea about transference.
yeah, that's about transference. So yeah, you don't know who this other person or that other mate has been with. You're taking on those other people's traumatic experience. So it does come to you may need these type of services, even for health benefits, for your pH balances, for menopausal things. So yes, Mama's Healing Sound for You is available, and we will come mobile to you. We will we'll bring the sanctuary to you. Put it that way.
Ooh, I love that.
So we have all different types of different things that we can promote for that. So this is what this is about. Uplifting the mind, the body, and the soul, because we all need that soul care. We all need that mental care, and we all need that physical care. So this is why I opt to tell people these things, because again, it might come a time we won't be able to go to the medicine store. Because I can remember back in the day that one of my great aunts that I used to babysit me, she used to have little herb for everything.
Sure.
Back in the day, and to this day, I can still remember those stuff work. Now,
I saltwater gargle every time as soon as I feel a sore throat.
Right. So it's nothing scary or spooky. You're using natural elements that God has given us in this earth to promote wellness, because we all know, I'm not telling you tonight not to take your medicine if it's prescribed to you, but there are other holistic practitioning ways that can help with different ailments, and you could see some relief, and there's benefits for that. Far as frequency, the sounds that I use when I use the sound bowl, certain sounds, again, Fletcher, you want to go into that? This is how we connected as well for that day.
I'm on
I'm gonna give the example of what happened. And so the day that I did the sound bowls at this University of Maryland, and I want to say thank you for them for allowing me to come, and that was a huge honor. I didn't even know
a big deal having a corporate medical system have us and others there that are complementary to what they're doing.
Right, complementary to what they're doing. Now, I still like, woo! I was like blown away about this, but it was funny. It was just in your town. The other bigger systems, they didn't know anything about that. So I know I have a relative that worked. She was like, I didn't know they had this. I say, well, yeah, they did. University of Maryland, yes, indeed, they do have this junction. But that day when I talked about the different sounds and frequency, and I gave out just the 9 essential ones that actually help promote in some type of way of wellness. Now people might say this is scary off the base, but I'm very prayerful. And what did I say to you guys when you picked out? I say, pick out one that whatever that's leading to you that you're feeling. Now, whichever you're feeling, pick it out, and then everyone picked out the card, right?
They were amazed. This is perfect for me.
Everybody was like, and I was, but what I did before I came in, I affirmed. I said, whoever gets this frequency, whoever learns about this frequency, I want this to match to what they're going through, or if this is something to help them. And again, speaking those words out into the atmosphere made a big change, because you had no idea. You felt what you gravitated to, and it fit right towards you that day. You was like, oh my God, this is what I need.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
So I'm just saying, and it's nothing. It's just the power. It's just the power where we know where our source is, but it's sometimes we're here to activate. He said he give us the power. He give us the greater power that we should do, the greater works that we should do while we're here. So the greater works that me and Fletcher are doing, just help educate the community. for health purposes, for your mind purposes, for your body purpose. Now, again, when she's talking about seasonal eating, yeah, we know certain fruits and vegetables and foods that we have in a certain time, it's a season for that. I think we should grab a hold of that and take that. Hey, this is what I need to, the butternut squash. There's nothing wrong with it. They give those away in the surpluses, right? That food giveaways. Most of the time people won't take them. But do you not know that you can make a butternut squash brownie?
I would try it. I love food.
I mean,
But
you just
even just
gotta be
eating
creative.
real food is a big step in the right direction. Just cooking something for yourself. But with the seasonal rituals, I think one of the easiest thing that people can do is, well, lots of people, they put lotion on, right? But if we put oil on our skin, but just take a moment for our self-care, we're taking a moment to just hit the time out, connect with ourselves. Oh, I didn't know I had that sore spot when I was rubbing it in, kind of let the rest of the world fade away and put your lotion on. Or you want to step out of the box with it, try it before you get in the shower, because the oil dissolves the oil. I've never seen a better makeup remover. If I put coconut oil on my face, the number one compliment I ever get is when I go back to that routine before I get in the shower, come out crystal clear. It's unbelievable. But most people really say like, oh, I can't meditate because I can't get my mind to slow down. What I'm here to tell you is that it is a beautiful tool to actually increase productivity. So if you're focusing on an Excel document, a video game, talking with your friend, having the ability to focus on one thing at a time is really going to benefit you in upping your productivity game. So it's not always about just turning off. Sometimes it's about having focus.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's going to go back to our conversation that we had one day earlier.
Intentions.
That we go with those intentions. From the experience that I had, we played this affirmation game. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and tell you what we got. We're going to have something on the 11/11 together. So we are going to be right back. Welcome back to Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. See, we were talking about, we just gave you a great detail on taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, and taking care of your soul. And using some practices, again, like she said, meditation, and I know it works. It works for productivity. One of the things, it helps me, because a lot of people ask me, Michelle, how you do so much? I'm giving you what it is.
Because you're in alignment, you're in the flow.
I'm in the flow. And I done madely affirm this by, saying, and you can repeat this after me. You can make this for yourself. I am completely focused and aligned in my well-being, mind, body, and soul. My confidence is definite. So, let me say that one again. I'm feeling that charge by saying that. I am completely focused and aligned with my well-being in my mind, body, and soul. My confidence is definite. So yes. So what we're talking about is, me and Fletcher are planning, and I'll actually post this up this week, and you can confirm it about what we're going to do. So as we're talking about 11/11, we're talking
Make
about
a wish.
Yep, make it a wish, but it's gonna make this intention, an affirmation that we're gonna plan to do an affirmation workshop for 1 hour on 11/11. Because what's significant about 11/11? It is that, I don't know, for people who are creatives, I know for me, it's really been heightened up, been really heightened. I mean, it heightened more during the COVID, but now it's like pew, 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 just ideas, and I write them down. They're just coming from everywhere. But I feel as though if we affirm and we speak these things into the atmosphere, these things will literally, we can do above and more wonders where we need to be focused and aligned in our desires. Because it gives you the desires of your heart. So, Fletcher, how we're gonna do, what's gonna happen, what we are planning to happen on that day.
Oh, well, you're going to come to my boutique, which is in Chestertown, as we mentioned, and do some meditation, do some sound, connecting, and we'll be working as a group, but you'll also be working as individuals. And so we're creating a little community in ourselves, sharing the light, so that you can take that out and share it in your community. But having a personal experience really helps people to learn and connect. I think it's kind of funny when a lot of people know, 11/11, make a wish. They might have heard that. I don't even know, maybe it's a superstition, but maybe you could talk a little bit about what the difference between wishing for something and creating an affirmation might look like.
So a wish is a wish. That's just for me. I don't make the wishes like that. Those are just wishes. The wish is, that's something I'll leave to Disney. But what I affirm is what I want to walk into my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That intention is what I want for my purpose and my outcome and my makeup to be. If I can say it in that type of way, make it, we say that at the birthday cake, we make our wish, we were 5 years old, blow out the candles. And what we think about, I'm giving you a guided imagery that quick. I slid it. Thank you, Fletcher, for letting me slide that in right quick about a guided imagery. Basically, it's a guided imagery, your wish.
Right. And you're asking for something, but when you affirm something that you're lacking almost, but when you're affirming something and you're stepping into something, you feel a fullness about it. Mm-hmm. And you feel really good. You don't feel like you're wanting, you're attracting.
That's it. And what we want to attract, things that's going to fulfill us, things that's going to be purposes for us, and things that keep us focused and aligned. So this is what this workshop is going to be about. We're going to have a great time. I just want people to come with an open mind. And we're hoping to see you there, but we're going to post more information about that. So you can either look for Fletcher or myself. We're actually going to be putting that out there, and we want you to come. So limited space, because there is, as she said, boutique. It's
cozy.
Yeah, it's just cozy enough. So there's going to be limited space. So once we put it out there, we want you to do what you have to do to get there. But yes, I will be there using the sound bowl, and I do have a new tool, which is the rain stick. So I have that as well. So yes, this girl is moving. I'm walking into that alignment in my purpose, and I'm being focused, and I'm aligned to what it is to help others. So yeah.
And if our guests don't know what they want, but they know that they're ready to show up and do the work, that's perfect. Just as long as you're coming in, because we'll get you there. We'll help you figure it out.
We shall help you figure it out. So again, Fletcher, so this is where you can reach my friend, my guest here tonight, Miss Fletcher Johnson. You need to look at her website. You can follow her also on her Facebook. So I'm not going fast with these. So you need to hook up with her, because she will tell you. I'm gonna tell you, she has some good essential oils, and I'm almost out of my area.
Ooh, yes, I love bath salts.
So I'm almost out of it. So it's time for me to get some more. I'll actually probably be coming the weekend coming up. It's becoming to get there. So, and this is where you can also find her guided meditations as well on her insight timer. So I appreciate that. So again, Fletcher, so we're about to get ready to leave from this show. So just give one word, one inspirational word for those who maybe feel like, oh, I need to figure out what it is I need to do to get focused and aligned.
Empower.
Ooh, that's a powerful word there. Empower.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, empower. Wow. That just knocked my socks right on off. So Fletcher, it has been wonderful having you here tonight on Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. I look forward to the collaboration.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. You are so welcome. And audience, you know, I always leave with this for you to go out in your week. Just know, you know, I always say, if you don't feel like you're loved, because, you know, many times again in our world, some people just might not have it. Or if today has been one of those days that have been hectic for you, I will tell you, just breathe. Release. And relax. But just know, if you don't feel that you're loved, just know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Until next week, I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And again, thank you, Fletcher, for coming on. And follow us, because we're going to have the information up this week soon about the affirmation 1111 experience. So have a blessed week.
Thank you.